We continue to follow breaking news. We're learning a lot more information about Friday's deadly attack on the CDC. 11 Alive's Dan Kennedy joining us from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation's headquarters, where officials wrapped up that news conference with a lot of takeaways. Dan, let's dive into some of the biggest points here.
Well, how about this, Aisha? Authorities say they found the gunman with 5 different firearms. They say they recovered more than 500 shell casings from the CDC. 6 different CDC buildings were hit almost 200 times by bullets. And this morning, authorities think they know why the gunman targeted the CDC.
A search warrant executed at the residence of the shooter revealed written documentation that expressed the shooter's discontent with the COVID-19 vaccinations. These documents are currently being examined by GBI certified profilers, and they are being shared, have been shared, and will continue to be shared with the FBI Atlanta field office.
All of the 5 guns belonging to Patrick Joseph White, they in fact belong to his father. The GBI says they had been secured at the home, but that White had forced his way into the safe to take them. White was living with his family in Kennesaw. They are said to be fully cooperating with the investigation. The 30-year-old had no known criminal history. Evidence gathered in this case indicates he had recently verbalized thoughts of suicide. We also learned in this news conference today that he died on the scene from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Aisha, the weapons, along with other critical evidence recovered from the scene, now undergoing forensic testing here at the GBI's crime lab.
Dan, there was a lot of gunfire there. We're talking about 500 shell casings were discovered. When you talk about, 200 actually hitting the buildings there, we learned some new information. If you don't live or work in that area, the general community didn't know that there's actually a daycare that was on lockdown and kids were evacuated in the middle of all this as well.
Which is so terrifying. Some 90 kids inside this daycare. We spoke to people inside the daycare at the time who said it sounded like the gunfire was coming from right outside the door. And indeed, when you think about it, the gunman firing across the street only about 1-2 football field lengths away or so from the CDC campus and those buildings that he was hitting. Ultimately, 181 rounds of gunfire hitting 6 different CDC buildings. Aisha, thankfully, all the children inside that daycare were able to be reunited with their parents that night.
All right, Dan, thank you. We continue to think of Officer Rose and his family as they deal with this unimaginable grief. The community has really showed up in a major way to support them. His wife expecting a baby here in just a couple of months. A fundraiser online has already raised more than $330,000. If you'd like to donate, we have the link with this story on 11alive.com.